And welcome back to Open Line. I'm Chuck Long here with Kevin Kennedy from the Kennedy Law Firm. Really a great hour talking about all things legal, so many different questions.
Yes.
Kevin, the thing that amazes me, there's so many questions that go from A to Z, and you somehow have great wisdom, great opinions on all of them. So,
well, a lot of it is, you know, we understand the theory. The theory in the law, you're supposed to tell the truth. It should be fair one another, and so the specific statute should kind of have that underlying flavor. And in every state, you got a prosecutor and a defense. And we were talking during the break about lawyers and the attorney-client privilege. It is sacred. If you tell me something, I'm not supposed to disclose that. And we saw when the president's lawyer got up there, and I said, "What about the president's right to say, you know, I can't divulge this?" When it went out the door. So I mean, lawyers are being shocked. Legal, sophisticated minds are being shocked every day. What is the law? What is the statute? And who is obeying it?
Right. Yeah. Lots of questions there. I know you've got a lot of questions and comments. We want to get to as many as we can. Not a lot of time left in this hour, so if you do have one of those questions or comments, make sure you get online with us as soon as possible. Tony, we're going to you right now. We appreciate your patience. We're glad that you called in. And do you have a question or a comment for Kevin?
I have a question for Kevin.
Go right ahead.
Yes, Kevin, thank you for taking the call. Here's the question. On a pre-sentence investigation report that the probation department has an accused fill out, on page 2, now this was in another state, but let's just pretend it was in Tennessee for discussion purposes, it said, "Here is your opportunity to address the judge and tell her your side of the story." Well, I was innocent of 2 felonies, and I wrote 34 pages to the judge, backing it up with 25 pages of discovery documents. And I was having to act as my own attorney because the attorney I hired was, well, let's just say incompetent. The judge, I'm wondering if this violates what they call ex parte communication. And the second part of the question is, I had family and friends write to the judge providing character references for me. The judge took 2 of the letters that I wrote, sent them to my attorney. My attorney sent me a letter while I was in jail telling me that my family and friends were committing libel against him because they were telling the judge he was doing a lousy job for me. Can you comment on any of that, or do you need me to?
No, as a general rule, you know, when a judge is sitting, you're not supposed to have communications. Many judges, when family members write in, he will announce in court, "I have received letters. I have not read these letters. I'm putting them in an envelope and I'm placing them in the file." But he states that on the record so that unless it's in evidence, someone testifies to it, it could be considered hearsay. And so that's a whole legal argument right there again. And again, whatever you were to say to your probation officer, again, that could be used against you. You could write 34 pages that exonerate you, and 1 sentence in there could be interpreted that it could convict you. So I always urge people to try not to say things unless their lawyer has said, okay. One of the things I think I've learned recently, there are so many different interpretations of the law, what is guilt and what is not. We've said earlier, if the FBI, almost all these people that are being convicted now, well, they got them for lying to the FBI. Well, hello, come in, somebody look. You don't have to talk to them. And if you choose, you give up your right of self-incrimination. So I've said it earlier, I think the person is very smart to get another lawyer and try to chit-chat with them, and then ask as many questions as you can and use your own judgment. We can inquire. We don't have to make statements. I told Chuck, if the FBI were waiting on him tonight, I'd say, "Chuck, come to my car. We will talk to you gentlemen tomorrow." And I'd get their card, and Chuck wouldn't talk to them. I would, and I try to find out what's this all about before Chuck had to make any. That's just really smart things to do. What? To protect Chuck.
And so again, I tell you, let the lawyer do the talking. We have, you know, so many calls that say, "I'm not sure what to do."
Yes.
How to
well,
do
let me just explain this to the police. I want to tell you, well, guess what? They will take your explanation and it can be turned every which way and say, "Well, he said this," and Chuck said, "Kevin, I never said that." Well, guess what? They are saying you did, and now you're charged with perjury. Now you're arrested. You're under a $100,000 bond. Wow.
Yeah, it can snowball. So, Tony, we appreciate
Thank
the
you
call.
for that question.
Absolutely. All right, we're going to Carl right now. Carl, we're glad that you called in this evening. And do you have a question or a comment for Kevin?
I have a question.
Go ahead.
I was renting at a red light in October of last year. I contacted one of the law firms on TV.
Yep.
In March, I made an appointment to see the lawyer and asked them that why I didn't have any communications. They don't contact me. They don't talk to me. Here it is almost October again. I tried to get another law firm to take my case, but
Yes.
I signed this I guess, agreement that
Yes.
this law firm. Is there any way I can get out of that? Because here it is almost October again. I don't know where my case stands.
Okay.
I
Yes.
went down there and talked to them. The attorney got said like he was offended that I was saying all I want to do is just keep in the loop. What
Right.
have you guys done?
As a general rule in Tennessee, you can dismiss your lawyer, and if you can't talk to your lawyer, that is a clear problem. One of the wise people said you need a lawyer you can trust and a preacher you can believe in, and then you can take on anything. So if I had hired a lawyer and I couldn't get him on the phone, I would say, obviously, you're too busy. We need to probably separate ourselves, and I would go in and talk to them and try to get a release and then go hire another lawyer. What you got to be sensitive to is if you get too close to your statute, many lawyers won't get involved because it's not enough time to prepare to even file that.
Okay, so we appreciate that, Carl. We have a few more calls to get to before the night is over, so we're going to try to get to as many as we can. Bonnie is on the line with us right now. Bonnie, we've got about a minute for your call. Do you have a question or a comment?
Question.
Okay, go ahead.
I want to know, what is a landlord's responsibility on making sure the correct cleaning is done in a property where they had found out that prostitution was going on in there, and the tenant had diseases?
Oh, good gracious. Well, first off, I would call the health department and have them. They have a lot of different meters that they can go into those places and see if there's meth residue. And so I'd call the health department, I'd call the building and codes, and let some professionals get involved. And if I knew that they weren't clean, I'm not going in there.
All right, so Bonnie, thank you so much for calling in. Great question. All right, we're going right back to the lines right now. So Donald is on the line with us. Donald, do you have a question or a comment for Kevin?
Yes, sir, absolutely I do, and I want to thank you first for taking the call.
Absolutely.
Glad to do it.
Okay, this may be a complicated question and an unusual one, but if you have any knowledge, I would appreciate it.
And quickly as you can, Donald.
Sir?
Just as quickly as you can. We don't want to run out of time on you.
Here we go.
Okay.
I take a urinalysis test 3 times a week. They got a test called an EBG test that can detect the antibodies of alcohol up to 80 to 90 hours later.
Yep.
But I've read up on this, and it's a lot of controversy information on these tests. They're not accurate. There's this and this, that. If I were to get caught with a EBG bad test, do I need a lawyer to present this and tell them something different otherwise than I've been drinking?
I would challenge it always. Have your research, have your expert lined up. If you think there is a potential, there's a big controversy on poppy seed now showing up as positive THC. So it's riddled with problems. But yes, you're going to always have to advance your own cause. Make preparation for that. And if you know it's coming, anticipate it and move forward. Proactive approach.
Okay, that's good to know. So we appreciate that, Donald. Hope that helped you out. So, Kevin, I know we're about out of time, just a few seconds left. But one of the things I just wanted to mention to people out there watching is one of the best things that a lawyer can do is strike up a settlement.
Yes.
They can offer a plea bargain. I mean,
Yes.
there's a number of options you have.
95% of all cases are settled. That means when 2 smart lawyers, they can discuss it and they will settle it. Also, in a DA situation, when we know the evidence is there, we're going to cut a deal. They say, what about this guy's guilt? Well, we still may get a lesser sentence. We may get a suspended sentence, and creative lawyering will make the difference.
Okay, good to know. We are going to need to take a break. When we come back, we're going to wrap the show up. We'll give you the information on how you can contact the Kennedy Law Firm. So come on back with us as we wrap it up here on Open Line.